So at AgeRate, we offer an at-home blood test and a mobile app that helps users track and optimize how well they're aging. So chronologically, I'm 29. Biologically, I'm 30 right now. So yeah, not doing too well, but I mean, that's the value of the test, right? You can kind of get tested, understand how well you're doing, and make changes to hopefully improve. Throughout my time at AgeRate, I've done multiple tests, and it's been peaks and valleys for sure, and it usually tracks with my current lifestyle. So growing up, I was always passionate about fitness and health optimization. And when I was doing my undergraduate degree at McMaster University, I was doing some amazing work in a genetics lab run by Professor Dr. Guillaume Perret. And throughout that research, we were looking at how fitness and nutrition impacts genetics. And we found a gap in terms of accurate and affordable ways to measure biological age using these biomarkers. So that's really the genesis of AgeRate, is we were doing this really great research in the lab and we wanted to bring it out into the hands of the consumers. So I left university and Dr. Prey and I co-founded AgeRate after I graduated. Yeah, it was a lot of research and development in the early stages of the company. And yeah, it's been great growth so far. We have a team of 6 people working with us right now. We just finished our beta testing phase. So when we were starting AgeRate, we had the research done. We started with a beta. So that was really just friends, family, trying out different types of collection devices. So using saliva samples, blood samples, different types of lab analysis, and we're getting their feedback on what worked best and comparing that to what worked best in the lab. And we grew out that beta user base to over 1,000 users. So we really relied heavily on their feedback on the product, the report, the experience with the mobile app to improve the product and get it to the point where it's at today. So when a user orders an AgeRate test, they get a kit sent right to their house. Inside of that kit, there's going to be a blood collection device. Now, we've tried a bunch of different blood collection devices, and the blood collection device that we landed on, it's actually pretty painless. So the user puts it on their arm, and it's almost like a robotic leech, and they push a button, and the blood just comes out right into a tube. They send that sample back to our lab. It undergoes a custom lab analysis where we measure thousands of different data points within your blood to calculate your biological age in over 10 different reports. And we provide those reports to users through the mobile app. So when a user's results are ready, they log into the mobile app. They can see their test reports. So look at their biological age, look at chronic inflammation, metabolic health, immune health. And within the app, they also receive some tailored lifestyle recommendations as well. And the app links up with wearable devices too. So you can link up your smartwatch or your Oura Ring and track your step count, your sleep, and see how those things are impacting your biological age. So when you order an AgeRate test kit and you want to do a follow-up sample, you can either do it on an annual basis or you can do it on a quarterly basis even. It really depends on how much change you're making to your lifestyle and how frequently you're expecting to see improvements in your biological age. Our main customers at AgeRate are really biohackers and health optimizers. So there's a few different segments of users that we have. The audience that's responded the most are people that are already investing a lot into their health and trying to optimize their performance. So they're looking for a test that can tell them, okay, I'm doing everything right now, but here are some things that I can do to take it to the next level. So our main users are biohackers. Now there are other segments of users too that are also interested in the test. So another segment is what we call preventers. So these are folks that may be approaching a milestone like turning 40 years old, and they're starting to think more about their health and longevity and want to take action to ensure that they're going to be living a long and healthy life. So they get the baseline test done, make some changes, and they have confidence in knowing that they're on the right track in terms of being able to maintain optimal physical and cognitive performance well into their later years. So what the AgeRate test can reveal that a wearable device or a watch can't necessarily reveal is really the long-term impact of your lifestyle and environmental factors on your health and longevity. So when we measure your biological age with this blood test, it's taking in the impact over years that your lifestyle and environment has had on your biological age or on your chronic inflammation. And a wearable device such as a watch really provides you with a short-term picture of what you're doing, like how you are today. But what's really great about the test is that you can do follow-up tests to see, okay, are the changes I'm making right now reversing some of the long-term damage that I've left on my cells? With the AgeRate app and the blood test, there's a variety of reports that we provide. So some of the reports include chronic inflammation, so looking at the long-term exposure to inflammatory markers, immune health, so how optimal is your immune system functioning and how responsive is it? Metabolic health is looking at the long-term impact that adiposity has had on your health and longevity. We also have reports for things such as tobacco smoke exposure, alcohol consumption. So with our tests, we can actually determine the long-term impact that drinking alcohol has had on your health and longevity, among a variety of other reports too. I think when it comes to improving your health and optimizing your longevity, it's going to be a multifaceted approach. So there are benefits in terms of utilizing the healthcare system to get traditional sort of tests, MRI scans done for sure. But we do believe there needs to be an option for people to take health into their own hands and have the ability to receive a test like this, order it, do it from the comfort of their own home, receive the results and take action to improve without the need to rely on a healthcare system that could potentially be slow in some cases and leave people feeling a bit lost and helpless. So we're really trying to empower people with the tools and information they need to live a longer and healthier life. The blood analysis that we're doing, it's quite different than what you would get at a traditional doctor's office for a blood test. So what we're measuring, it's epigenetics. So you might be familiar with genetic analysis, which measures what genes you actually have, what genes have been passed down from your mom and your dad. Your genes determine things like your hair color or your eye color, how tall you might be. And your genetic code, it's the same in every single cell within your body. Now, what makes a skin cell different from a heart cell or a hair cell or whatever, it's really epigenetics. So epigenetics is looking at how those genes are actually being turned on or off and changing the function of a cell. So as we get older, the genes responsible for our body functioning optimally, they become turned off. That's kind of the aging process. So at AgeRate, we're looking at thousands of different genes, seeing whether or not they're turned on or off, and we're able to use those measurements with machine learning algorithms to calculate your true biological age and these other reports. So a test like this, it was mainly done in a research setting for a long period of time, which is why we felt there was a need for us to make an accurate and affordable way to bring it out into the hands of the consumers, because you can't get a test like this at a Life Labs or a traditional doctor's office. When we built the AgeRate algorithm for predicting biological age, it was based on a population of over 10,000 people. And by measuring those people, we were able to determine what the average difference should be between someone's biological age and their actual age. So it's about 5 years is what we consider average. So plus or minus 5 years. So someone could be 5 years older or 5 years younger than their actual age. Now, when someone falls out of that range, and we have had people that have come back over 10 years older than their actual age, or in some great cases, 10 years younger, we typically repeat those tests just to confirm that the results are accurate. And they are. We haven't had an instance where it was like a lab analysis issue. So that's really impactful to kind of know, okay, I'm actually 10 years older than I should be. Like it's a wake up call. It's kind of one way to look at it, right? It's kind of like a check engine light. Yeah. So I think as a society, there is this idea that after the age of 65, you just retire and you die, right? That's something we're striving to change, is that idea around aging and what it means to get older, and empowering people with the tools they need and the goals that they're going to set for themselves when they're in their later years. So I think everyone wants to be able to continue doing what they love doing well into their later years, right? I mean, when it comes to aging, it's almost viewed as something's being taken away from you after the age of 65, right? Like you're not able to do what you love to do, whether that be playing pickleball, right? Or jet skiing when you're in your 80s, going for hikes, right? Even just playing with your grandkids. Like these are things that we want to be able to do without pain and be able to do it well. So really on an individual basis, and people might not necessarily reflect on this too much, but when you really think about it, you got to think, okay, like what do I really love doing now, and how am I going to be able to invest in my health today to make sure I can continue doing what I love to do 20, 30 years from now.
What do you want to be doing when you're 80?
When I'm 80, I think jet skiing would be a cool thing to do. I mean, I would love to continue to work out at the gym, and I think continue to help out my dad as well around the house. So my dad's a pretty active guy when it comes to home renovations and maintaining the property, right? I want to be in a position where I can continue to work and be physical and active, and I think cognitive performance is key too. So the idea of not being able to remember things as you get older, or think clearly, or read books and retain information, I mean, that's tough, and a lot of people are experiencing that right now, either themselves or they have a family member that might be experiencing Alzheimer's or some sort of cognitive decline, right? I mean, it's really difficult to deal with. So that's why I think it's so important to be able to measure your biological age and get tested at an early age, so you can take action to ensure that when you are older, you are going to be healthy.